Watch this video to learn how to release and submit your dealing. Once an instrument has been fully certified and signed, it's ready to be released in due course by a user from the firm that has been set up. To release a single instrument from the Instrument and Roles page, either use the three dots icon at the end of its row and select Release Instrument, or use the left-hand navigation bar and select Release. This takes you to the Release Instruments page. On the Release Instruments page, you will only see the instruments that your firm is responsible for releasing. You can see the knock and instrument status on this page, which might remind you of the need to go and mark the knock ready to send, or that the instrument is not fully signed, so not able to be released. Check the box next to the instrument or instruments you wish to release. Then select the Release Selected button. A Confirm Instrument Release window will display. Review the instrument list to be released and either select the Release Instrument button to confirm the release of the instruments or the Cancel button to cancel the release. Once released, the checkboxes beside the instruments will change to a green tick and the status updated to Released. To undo the release of an instrument, for example when you want to edit the instrument, click Revert to Signed. Once all the instruments have been released, the dealing can be submitted by the submitting firm. To navigate to the Submit page, you can either use the left-hand navigation bar and select Submit, or from your landing page, use the three-dot icon at the end of the dealing row to select Submit Dealing. The Submit Dealing page will display. The Submit Business Rules will run a set of validations and will display a report at the top of the page with any failures or warnings. One important thing to note on this page is that any changes made on this page won't be saved if you navigate away from it. Let's have a look at the page in more detail. Your dealing information will have come through, so you can check the details. In the Dealing Fee Details section, you will see the fees your firm is responsible for. The dealing number and client reference, if you set one up, will be used on your firm's fees reports. There's a Notes for Fees report field where you can add any additional notes. To view these after the dealing has been submitted, you need to generate a fees report, which, at the date of this video, is only available in Legacy Landonline. If your client's bank or lender has subscribed to our Notice to Mortgagee service, you will need to type in the bank client reference they have supplied you with. This mandatory field only shows when relevant. When the dealing is registered, a copy of the registered mortgage and the updated record of title will automatically be sent to the lender. Use the Post-Registration Search button to indicate if any post-registration searches are required. The button will usually default to Yes, and if you change it to No, the sections to complete will disappear. If you do require any search copies to be emailed to you after registration, review the email subject line. It will automatically populate and default to the words Post-Registration Search, followed by any client reference number and then the dealing number. You can change the details in this field if you wish. In the Order Records of Title, by default, all the records of title will display and be selected. Use the checkbox to identify which records to select. If it is a protected title, it won't display. There is an optional place to add additional client reference details, though because the post-registration searches are batched by client reference, customizing this field may mean you receive searches in different emails. The last section we'll look at is Order Instruments. Some instruments, such as transfers, are automatically unchecked, but a copy can be ordered if needed. Use the checkboxes to select the instruments you wish to order. Some instruments will not appear at all, such as discharge of mortgage. We're now ready to submit the dealing. Select the Submit Dealing button. A pop-up summary of the fees associated with the dealing will appear. One point to note is that these fees are indicative only. The final fees could change, for example, if an instrument is withdrawn from a dealing. You can either cancel to cancel this operation or select Yes, Submit Dealing to submit the dealing. If the dealing status is auto, a green tick indicates it is successful and the dealing will be removed from your active dealings list. If the dealing status is lodge or queued, the dealing will show up in your active dealings with an updated status, but you will not be able to open or edit the dealing. This brings us to the end of the Release and Submit video. Thanks for watching.